Hi Stampers, this is Trevis. Welcome to Video Friday. And so today we are going to be making a trellis card. And I have to admit, this is not my own idea. I saw this on, I don't know, Pinterest or one of the websites, but it is a darling card. And so I thought, it doesn't look hard. So I thought, let's share it and see what you think. So today I'm going to be using the Dainty Delight bundle that's in the mini catalog, and it's been back ordered or unavailable for a little while. I hope it's back, but this stamp set is so cute. It's 9 stamps. It's red rubber, so it's cling, and the sentiments in here are so nice. And so today we're going to be making a thank you card. So thank you for your kindness. And there's other nice sayings, celebrate you. That's a nice birthday saying. And then the coordinating dies, and the dies, there's 16 dies. So there's extra dies in here that don't just cut out the stamps, but they also cut out like the vine. So that's what we're going to use today on the trellis card, and among other things. So let's get started and make this cute card. Put the camera down. Okay, so I'm only going to use one stamp pad today, and that's Gorgeous Grape. Okay, so I'm going to stamp my sentiment in Gorgeous Grape. Actually, I could go ahead and do that, I think. I'm going to go ahead and stamp that thank you for your kindness. And I usually say to, especially with a red rubber stamp, is to stamp it once on your grid paper. So you see it's a little bit cockeyed. So if you want to get your stamp straight, and this is going to be really tight on here, it's still a little cockeyed. So it's a little low on the right side. So I'm going to raise it up a little bit. There we go. See that? Oh yeah, much better. Okay, so there I have our sentiment stamped, and that's all our stamping. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere this to a piece of Gorgeous Grape cardstock. Nobody's going to know about that boo-boo on the back. So there's just a tiny little border, which I like. Okay, and then I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back. I'm going to pop this up. So I'm going to put a couple, actually I think I'll put 3 dimensionals on the back. So I have that ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to make the card open portrait style. So I have a 4 1/4 by 11 piece of, and I'm using the thick white basic cardstock. It's nice for a card base to use the thick cardstock. Gives you a little more substance to your card, especially if you're making it portrait style. Because if you want to stand it up, sometimes the regular basic cardstock is a little bit flimsy. So just a heads up there. And now I'm going to fold this in half. So I did score it at 5 1/2. So I have a nice crisp fold. Okay, and then I have a piece of designer series paper. And this is from the annual catalog, and it's called Pretty Prints. Okay, so there are a lot of gorgeous colors in here, actually. And I am going to use the one, I believe, I'm trying to decide if this is Coastal Cabana or more like Bermuda Bay. It says both colors are in this pack, so I'm going to go with Coastal Cabana, just because I think it's a little lighter than Bermuda Bay. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this. This guy's kind of like a water. Oh, almost looks like a, which I really like. Very artsy looking, but this side is more like for greenery. So I'm going to add this side, use this side. Okay, now we have some new embossing folders coming out, and this will be on the online store starting on March 1st. And there's actually 3 embossing folders in this bundle, and one of them, and they don't have different names, which is going to be interesting, right? Because I don't know, they just called them, let me see what they're all called. Hang on a second. They are called Basics 3D embossing folders. And so I guess I'm going to number them 1, 2, and 3. I really like the 1. It's very different. It's kind of looks like a poinsettia if you look at it one way, and then if you look at it another way, it looks like a starfish. And then we've got the polka dot. We've been looking for a polka dot. Well, we got a polka dot. And then there's this one. And this one looks kind of like a trellis to me. So I ran this through, a piece of white cardstock through, and I'm trying to decide which side. You could use either side, and I think I'm going to use this side. Okay, so that's going to be next. Before I put that down, I'm going to make my trellis. And what I have is, I have 6 pieces of white. I think I have 6. I hope I do. I see 5. Uh-oh. I only see 5. I need 6. Oh, there it is. Okay, so these are 1/2-inch pieces, strips. Okay, and they are just under 4. So they're going to layer nicely on top of this designer series paper. Okay, so they're going to have a little edge, which is what I wanted. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to adhere these. And I'm going to border this all the way to the top. Okay. So can you see I put it all the way to the top. So this is a 1/2 inch and just under 4. So this actually is, this piece, the designer series paper is 4 1/4 by, 4 by 5 1/4. And then the strips are 1/2 inch by, you know, it's just under 4. Just between 3 3/4 and 4. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and lay, oh, you know what I needed to do? I needed to put this on the edge. Hang on a second. So raise this up. And just put this one down about right there. Okay. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because I want that piece, those are going to be like the posts of my trellis, and those need to be behind these pieces. So before you lay that first one down, just put down your, okay, never fails. I forget what I'm doing. Okay, so there we go. So we have 3 pieces so far. Now we have these other 3 that we're going to lay next. So this one is going to be just a smidge below. And you're going to keep laying these out. So they're all really the same size. These could be shorter, but just make them all the same size. It's easier, I think, while you're cutting them. And if they're just under a 1/2 inch, go with it. Because, you know, when you build a trellis, not everything is just perfect. Okay. Okay, now we have this piece. So since this is textured, I'm going to use liquid glue to adhere this. And I'm just going to put a little bit of liquid glue. You don't want to overkill, right? Because it will squeeze out if you do. Now you're going to lay this close to the bottom. Just about like that. Okay, so it should line up pretty similar to the sides. So you should, it's not perfect, it's okay, but kind of looks like the bottom of a trellis. All right, so there is that. Now the next thing I'm going to do is cut out, I did cut out in advance some of the dies, and I used Coastal Cabana, and I used this one. Okay, so I cut out one of these out of Coastal Cabana, and then I cut out another 1/2 a piece because I'm just going to join these together and make it look kind of like a vine. So you could use your adhesive sheets. That would be awesome. If you want to put that on the back of your cardstock first, would be very smart. And then you wouldn't have this gluing that I'm doing right now. But if you like liquid glue and you're comfortable using it, just go with this way. Right there. Okay. So now, trying to pick this up without touching the leaves. Yes. So I have my Coastal Cabana jacket on. So I match. Yeah, I know. You're thinking, okay, Travis, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to have this trellis. I'm going to have it kind of go up like this. All right, I'm going to add some flowers to it later. And then I'm going to put this one next. And this one is just going to attach anywhere that you think it would work. So like right here. Okay, and then we're going to use our silicone craft sheet to hold that down to make sure that it's glued. Okay, now the next thing, while that's drying, I did cut out some of the daisies. So this little die cuts out these daisies, and I cut these out of Mango Melody cardstock. And then I cut out some little tiny flowers, and that's these. So these cut out 4 little tiny, they kind of look like pansies, I think. And so I cut those out of Gorgeous Grape. So I have those. I have all of my little pieces. So that cuts 1 piece, but you have to cut 4 of these because there's only 1 die. I know. I wish there was like 2, at least 2, but there's only 1. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is put a little glue on the back of each one. Oop. A little extra on the bigger ones in the centers of the daisies on the back. And then I take your pick tool, and I'm going to do these little purple flowers first. Okay, so the first one I'm going to use is this bigger one. And I'm going to kind of put it down here at the bottom. Just kind of like right here. And then I'm going to use this one. I'm going to put this up on the vine, kind of by itself up here. And then these other 2, just put them wherever you like. They're going to look cute wherever you put them. This one's so cute. It's so tiny. It's like a little tiny tulip. Okay. And then we have our daisies. And again, you can put those anywhere you like. That take your pick tool is just amazing. I love it. And so the putty, you get an extra putty when you buy the take your pick tool. So it comes with a putty, and then you get an extra one. And don't buy too many in advance because they kind of do dry out if you just keep them in a drawer. You don't want to like overbuy them. It takes a long time to use one of these up. So just saying. Okay, so now we're going to put that on there and hold that down. Okay, time for our sentiment. Thank you for your kindness. Isn't this a beautiful thank you card? I love it. And I'm just going to put this down here. Okay, and then I have another little piece of this. It was a leftover piece of the designer series paper. I'm going to put that on the inside. I'm just going to put that down there. Kind of as a little, cute little inside part. Okay, now we're going to add some pearls. So it seems like we always use some different kind of gems, right? But there's nothing wrong with the old pearls. And they come in, I think they come in 2 sizes now. They come in this one and the little bigger one. And again, your take your pick tool is perfect for this. So I'm just going to pull these off. Put them in the centers of these daisies. So you can color your pearls. They don't have to be white. You can make them, oh, it's kind of off center. You can make them any color, and you can use your blend markers, or if you like, you can use a Sharpie any kind of a permanent, okay, so our Stampin' Right markers will not work. They will never dry on the pearls, but the blend markers and a Sharpie marker will work perfectly. Okay, so just throwing that out there. Okay, so there is my card today, and I'm just going to call it a trellis card. I don't know what it's called, but I did get this idea off the internet, and I don't remember the girl's name, unfortunately. I like to give credit to whoever's card it was, but unfortunately on this one, I don't know her name. So thank you, whoever was creative and thought of this, but I can't give you credit. Okay. My name's Trevis Bossler. I'm in St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm a independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And I would love it if you would share my video or just like it. That's great too. And or make a comment. That'd be awesome. It spreads my my YouTubes all around, and I appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching today, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye.